Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Dr. Ghost and today we are going to be playing the Tier 5 Tech Tree American battleship USS New Mexico. And yeah, I did have a pretty good game recorded for you guys, so we're going to show that off. But before we do that, let's go ahead and take a look at the upgrades and loadout. We've got main battery mod 2 for the extra turret traverse, and we have propulsion mod 2 for the extra time taken to reach full power when accelerating. So this basically allows us to go from stop to go, vice versa, at a much faster pace. Our ship is fully upgraded. Now, if you take a look at the loadout, we've got high explosive shells, we've got armor piercing, we've got damage control parties, we have 3 repair parties, we've got 3 spotters on my build currently. You guys could put on a catapult fighter, which is totally an option these days, or you could put on a secondary, but I don't see the point in this on an American battleship anyway. Take a look at the flag we got. We got the Legends 40-year veteran flag. It's funny because I have so many flags. I've been collecting flags like a goddamn cat lady, like a cat lady that can collects her freaking cats. So yeah, I mean, I've been collecting flags quite a bit, but I do mainly run the Legends 4-year veteran flag because, well, I'm a 4-year veteran on this game, so I think it's okay to take a little bit of pride in that. And for the camouflage, we got the standard type camo. You guys can actually use some paint and actually use this camouflage. It does look really nice. Don't get me wrong, I like the red, white, and blue, but man, oh man, this is just sexy. Like, that's all I'm gonna say. It's just sexy. Anyway, let's take a look at the specs. We've got 55,200 hit points, 6 through 457 millimeters of armor, and a 40% torpedo damage reduction. Yeah, that's pretty good for a battleship. For the artillery, you've got 12 356 millimeter Mark 7 guns, and they are in a triple turret configuration. So you got 2 triple turrets, or 2 triple turrets in the front, 2 triple turrets in the back, okay? So you got 6 guns forwards, 6 guns aft, and you got a lot of firepower on this baby. This is an American standard type battleship, okay? So just keep that in mind. We'll talk more about that in the armor viewer. But the firing range, we've got 17.7 kilometer range on my build with a 32.5 second reload, which is pretty bad for a battleship. Now for the turret, 180 degree turn time, it's 35.3 seconds on my build. The HE shell maximum damage with a Citadel is 5,000, and the fire setting chances on each one of those 356 millimeter guns is 30%. And of course, the AP shell maximum damage with a Citadel hit is 12,000. Okay. For the AA, it is pretty good. It's not great, but it is decent. You got some 20 millimeter Oerlikons, pretty common for American ships. You've got a bunch of 40 millimeter Bofors, and of course your secondaries, believe it or not, also count as AA. Your 127 millimeter Mark 19s count as anti-aircraft flat clouds, just like they did in real life. You got to keep this in mind. In real life, those 5-inch gun mounts on your sides did act as AA. They could load high explosive rounds or anti-aircraft rounds and produce giant flat clouds, so it is historically accurate there. For the maneuverability, now this is where the New Mexico gets really bad in terms of speed, okay? This is an American standard type battleship, which means it's going to be slow, but it's going to have a lot of firepower. That's kind of the whole concept here. American standard type battleships had a lot of armor on their sides. They had the all-or-nothing armor scheme. They had a lot of firepower, but they had pretty bad speed, okay? However, you got 18.19 or 18.9 knot speed, but you do have a 640 meter turning circle radius, so that is pretty damn good for a battleship. A 640 meter turning circle radius is pretty damn spicy. Obviously, the rudder is going to be bad. It's 14 seconds, okay? So keep that in mind. Maneuverability, quite questionable. You don't want to be depending on dodging if you can help it, because, well, you're not going to be able to do a whole lot of that. Maybe you can dodge occasionally, you can dodge some torpedoes and whatnot, but you're not going to be an agile battleship. Let's just put it that way, okay? Now for the concealment, we've got 13.6 kilometer concealment by sea. We've got an 11.4 by air, 2 guaranteed with a 12.3 while firing in smoke. Take a look at the armor. We've got 25 millimeters plastered everywhere. So this armor right here is capable of ricocheting shells up to 14 inches. Everything bigger than 14 inches, so battleships with 15-inch guns or higher, will go straight through this armor like butter. So what you want to be doing is angling like this, kind of like this. But if you start over-angling like this, or obviously flat broadside, you're going to be exposing yourself to potential smackaronis, okay? You got to be careful. Utilizing your armor, knowing which ships have big guns and which ones have the guns that won't overmatch you is pretty important, okay? Now, obviously, if you look in the look up above the deck here, you got a bunch of superstructure, so you got to watch out for that. HE spammers are going to have a field day with you, okay? So you got to be trying to limit who can shoot you, okay? And let's go and take a look at the final thing here, and that is the commander. We are running William Sims. He is a level 16 Legendary 4 captain. It says I'm running Miss Santa, but that is just because of the guys I have on the commander guys, but just trust me, if I take off the guys, I'm running William Sims, okay? But I just put that on for the cosmetic stuff, so just keep that in mind. But anyway, Otto Ciliax and Andrew Cunningham as inspirations. We've got Built to Last, Flammable Cannoneer, Gyrating Drill Bits, Marksmanship, Reaching Out XXL, and Will to Rebuild, aka Skill to Rebuild. And nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I hope you all do enjoy the gameplay portion of today's video. Okay, so here we are. We're going to be on Fault Line. It's a domination mode. We're going to be in the New Mexico, of course. And yeah, you know, I've got a little story to tell about the New Mexico. And not actually about the New Mexico, just about my experience with the New Mexico in-game. Because it has a special place in my heart. When I first started World of Warships Legends, like most people, you all have probably watched Spartan Elite 43 and whatnot, right? I'm sure you guys have watched some of his videos. If not, you know, maybe some of you guys just heard of him, right? But anyway, I'm a pretty big fan of Spartan. I've been watching him over the years on WoW's Legends, and of course, you know, he was one of the guys that I mainly learned a lot from, and he helped me get started, I would say. His videos were super freaking helpful. So, and this all played a big part. I was like, okay, I want the Iowa, man. Spartan's making it look like an absolute blast, literally. So I started working my way up the American battleship line. And man, oh man, when I got to the New Mexico and the Colorado, these ships were just my bread and butter for a long time. I played so many matches in New Mexico. I played so many matches in ships like Colorado to grind and just to play them even for fun. I still come back and play these ships to this day because, man, this was a part of my first grind. I absolutely love American Standard type battleships. They have a special place in my heart. So I always love coming back to these sort of battleships because they were the first battleships that I started playing in the game. So that's kind of the little story I have. They have a special place in my heart. Now, who also has a special place in my heart is that Pensacola. We just snuck a Citadel over the island on them there. You gotta love it, right? That poor little Pensacola. But yeah, New Mexico, obviously, 12, 14-inch guns, and these guns do smack when they hit where they need to. So yeah, now we are slow. We talked about that in the review or overview portion of today's video, but we are slow, but what we make up for in the slow category is the firepower category, okay? We make up for it in the firepower. This thing has a lot of guns. It has a lot of secondaries. It has a lot of AA. That's kind of the whole thing about the Americans. They may not be the fastest, but they, at least at the lower tiers, they may not be the fastest, but you gotta watch out for their firepower because they sure have it. They sure have it. But if McDonald's had a line of ships, it would be the American Standard type battleships, okay? Wargaming, get me a freaking McDonald's camo. Let me slap that baby right on here. Let me get a McDonald's wrap. Alright, get a nice freaking big yellow freaking paper wrap to put on this freaking thing with a big M on the side. Big red M, okay? But no, jokes aside, this thing is great, okay? Still to this day. This ship is like 4 or 5 years old. It's still fantastic, and I still like playing it. So, what we're doing here is we spawned on the left side of Charlie. We're coming on over to this side of the map to hopefully get inside the capture zone. Now, We did see the destroyer for a second earlier, but he went unspotted pretty quick, so we weren't able to get a shot off. I'm hoping that we'll be able to, but then the Pensacola pops up, but he's behind the island, but then the destroyer pops up again, and this time we are ready, we got a shot ready, and of course the dispersion is like, screw you! Oh man, you gotta love it, right? RNG in this game never fails to disappoint, but don't worry, because the bat guns are gonna actually do some things right there. We just blacked one of his turrets, and we hit him pretty decent there, and he is gonna get torpedoed by our Fubuki. Our Fubuki did die, but he actually took the destroyer down with him. So I guess it was kind of worth it, but not really. I would have preferred it if he would have stayed alive. But hey, it is what it is. It's better than him dying and, you know, taking somebody with him than him dying and taking nobody with him. You know what I mean? So in my book, that's okay. Now, Pensacola is bow on, and we can overmatch him just like that. You have no armor, good sir. Back to port you go. That's our first kill of the game, and all we gotta do now is get inside the capture zone, flip this baby, and then we're gonna move through the middle over to Charlie, okay? Let's not get ahead of ourselves, but I'm just trying to tell you guys what we're gonna be doing. You know, a quick bit of advice in American Standard type battleships, think ahead. And that may sound easier said than done, and it kind of is, but really, think ahead, because you are a very slow battleship, okay? You need to be thinking ahead on where you're gonna be going, paying attention to the minimap, and having some level of situational awareness is very, very important, okay? So thinking ahead, thinking on where you're going to be going to, you know, before you actually go there is important, because you can't really disengage in American battleships, at least the lower tier standard type battleships, because they don't have the speed nor the maneuverability really to get out of a situation. Once you get into the heat of battle, there's no coming out. Like, you better be ready, you know what I mean? So you really got to be thinking out ahead a little bit, okay? That's something you should be doing in any battleship, but it really is very important in American battleships, especially the slow, standard type American battleships, okay? Now, like I said, we're going to be moving through this little channel here, and we're going to head on in over towards Bravo, because, well, there's nobody left on this side of the map to kill. We took out the Pensacola, our team took out the Fubuki, or sorry, our team took out the Gade, so we've got nobody else left over here to mess with. Now, notice we did get a couple planes shot down earlier, and that was because of the fact that the carrier sent his planes over, so, you know, the AA is, you know, doing its thing as it should. I'm glad, but yeah, what we're going to be doing, though, we're going to be heading on over to Bravo and taking some shots at this New Mexico, and maybe even getting a shot on a special juicy target. You guys could maybe guess what that's going to be, but let me tell you, there's going to be a big salvo coming up here very shortly, and it's not this New Mexico. I can tell you that. It's something more juicier, okay? Make sure you guys stick around for it, because it's going to be freaking hilarious. So, maybe not hilarious for the person that's going to deal with it, because it's going to be really unfortunate for them, but it's going to be hilarious for us, because we're going to absolutely send them to the freaking Shadow Realm. You just wait. But before we do that, we need to help and take out this New Mexico. The New Mexico is getting absolutely obliterated, so really there's no need for me to help, but I'm like, you know what? I've had nothing to shoot at for the past 3 minutes, so let me just shoot this guy and take him out, and yoink that kill. Yoink! That's our second kill of the game right there. Let's be real, we did not earn that whatsoever. But, I mean, hey, you gotta take what you can get sometimes, right? That's the circle of life. Now, look on the minimap and quickly notice where the last ships were spotted, okay? Carrier just got spotted. He is heading north towards Alpha, kind of in between Bravo. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get into a position to take a pot shot, maybe at that carrier. Can you guys see where this is going? Can you guys see where this is going? Oh, you just wait. I did say this is going to be a really juicy shot coming up here shortly, and I meant it. You see that carrier 19 kilometers out? You see him? Oh, yeah. You just wait, ladies and gentlemen. You just wait. I don't think you're ready for what's about to happen. I think a lot of you guys are probably guessing, though, what's going to happen to that carrier. It's not going to be a good time. We are coming into position here. We're 18 kilometers out. We are now just arriving in range. We are aiming the shot. And, Ranger, you got no camo on, and I've got 12 American 14-inch, 356mm Freedom rounds flying your way. You better take cover, good sir, Never mind, it's not gonna matter. Oh yes, that's our third kill of the game. Full health carrier sent to the Shadow Realm. Fuck you and your ways. But yes, we took out the carrier. Like I said, there was gonna be an absolutely juicy salvo in this game. I would not leave you guys hanging, okay? You can't have a battleship game, let alone an American battleship game, without a dev strike, especially like a dev strike on a cruiser or a battleship, or even a carrier. That was absolutely fantastic in my book. But nonetheless, we're closing in on the end of this game here. The enemy team has completely capitulated up to this point, and all we have to do is really nothing. But what we're going to do instead is we're just going to push out here and just kill things, because, let's be real, we don't have much to worry about. We're not going to lose this game. It's only a Minakaze that's on relatively low HP. We actually did get a couple hits on him, and there is also an Emil Burton out there as well, and I'm not concerned whatsoever about losing this game. So we're going to come out here, get a little bit more damage, get some shots off, maybe even get a Kraken potential here. That'd be fantastic. But yeah, if you guys have made it this far in the video, we are 15 minutes in. Actually, we're 16 minutes in. Make sure to go down there and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you have enjoyed the video so far. All we need to do, though, now is get this cap like we're doing, which is fantastic. And we're going to miss because, well, reasons. We just missed that Minakaze pretty bad there. But RNG, you know, RNG giveth, RNG taketh, I guess you could say, right? As Spartan says all the time. But it's a very true statement there. So RNG giveth and RNG taketh away, I guess, right? That's just the way World of Warships Legends works. But, you know, one thing, too, to point out, this map, not very good. Like, this map is pretty notorious for being one of the worst maps in the game, Fault Line. But, I mean, hey, so far, we haven't taken any bit of damage. Like, we have done a lot this game in terms of damage ourselves. We took out a full health carrier, we helped kill a freaking Pensacola, we helped kill a destroyer, we got 2 capture zones in an American standard type battleship. They were assisted caps, so our team did help us get those caps, obviously. But I mean, hey, we will take what we can get, man. We will take what we can freaking get. But I'm telling my team I need intelligence data because I would like to shoot some things, you know what I mean? And I said earlier that we took no damage, but that's not true now. We just took our first bit of damage, like freaking 10 minutes into the game. That's hilarious. But it ain't my fault that the enemy team's not very good, so we're going to completely capitalize on that. The enemy destroyer, the Minakaze, just went down, so that's our Kraken potential out the window. No Kraken for us, which is okay. That's fine, man. All that matters at the end of the day is winning games, and I think our team has done pretty phenomenal up to this point. We will point that out at the end of the game here, which is going to be any second. We took a shot with the back guns there. I'm hoping that these do land. They look really good, but look at those AP shells from the cruiser heading, or the battle cruiser heading in there. Derflinger claims the final kill there on the enemy Emil Burton. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is it. That's the end of the game here. That's a victory. 77,000 damage. And, I mean, what a freaking game right there in the New Mexico. 2.3k base XP with 3 kills. Dev strike on the carrier. Yeah, you gotta love it. And look at the team, too. They did pretty good as well. You gotta give them where credit is due. You know what I mean? You gotta give them credit where credit is due. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, that is gonna do it for this one. I hope you all did enjoy it. If you guys did enjoy today's video, go down there and hit that like button. It does help out. Hit that subscribe button. And, yeah, with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, have a fantastic rest of your weeks, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace out. Stay healthy, as always.